Tonight on Global TV News Prime, 176 abductees regain freedom after 6 months in Kwara State. In business, Brent crude falls below $80 per barrel as Hormuz talks advance. On the foreign scene, World Health Organization confirms first recovery in Democratic Republic of Congo outbreak urges faster detection. And in sport, Infantino holds emergency FIFA talks in Morocco as resignations calls mount. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder, Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. And now the news in details. The federal government has assured public servants that outstanding wage awards will be paid before the middle of August, while pending promotion arrears are being processed as part of efforts to fulfill commitments made to workers. The assurance followed a meeting between the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, and the leadership of the Joint Public Service Negotiation Council, where the minister said many of the concerns raised were already receiving government attention and directed relevant agencies to fast-track outstanding matters. The government also reaffirmed its commitment to resolving labor issues through dialogue, transparency, and regular consultation, while both sides pledged to sustain cooperations aimed at maintaining industrial harmony across the federal public service. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has requested First Bank to freeze the account of the Osun State government. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke, who disclosed the development at a press conference in Osogbo, faulted the action, saying the EFCC instructed the bank to freeze the state government account without a court order. The EFCC's request was contained in a letter dated August 5, 2026, and signed by the Commission's Director of Investigation, Adenike Babalola. Reacting, Adeleke attributed the development to plot to manipulate the August 15 governorship election, saying democracy was in danger in Osun State. He added that he had instructed the Attorney General of Osun State, Barrister Jimmy Bada, to challenge the action at the Federal High Court, Osogbo. No fewer than 176 residents abducted during the February terrorist attack on Woro and Nuku communities in Kayama local government area of Kwara State have regained their freedom, ending nearly 6 months in captivity. The Kwara State government confirmed the development, describing it as a major breakthrough while commending President Bola Tinubu, security agencies, and all those involved in securing the victims' release. Community sources say security personnel, supported by military hardware, carried out an operation in the forest before the victims were reportedly handed over to government officials. Authorities, however, are yet to disclose details of the rescue mission. The victims were kidnapped during the February 3 terrorist invasion that claimed several lives, displaced residents, and destroyed properties. Their release follows sustained security operations and repeated appeals by families and community leaders. A planned nationwide strike by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has been averted following a breakthrough meeting between the federal government and the association at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting, chaired by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, produced firm commitment on doctors' welfares, salary issues, and outstanding allowances. Aniete Patrick reports.
The IPPIS.
The high-level meeting, which lasted over 3 hours, brought together the Ministries of Labour, Health and Finance, the Director General of the Budget Office, and Accountant General of the Federation and other key government officials to address the demands of resident doctors before the expiration of their strike ultimatum. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, said the Tinubu administration remains committed to dialogue and the welfare of healthcare workers. He expressed confidence that the resolution reached would bring lasting industrial harmony and assured that every agreement reached would be implemented within the agreed timelines.
I had preliminary meetings a couple of days ago, I think on Sunday, with the president of the resident doctors and the Secretary General. There were a lot of issues that were tabled, which the ministers are fully aware of.
Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, described the outcome as a major step towards strengthening the health sector. He said governments had addressed virtually all the issues raised by the resident doctors, adding that the association agreed to suspend the planned strike after consultations with its National Executive Council.
Of the demands contained in the NAR resolutions are currently receiving attention, at least those that are under the purview of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare.
Speaking after the meeting, President of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Dr. Mohammed Suleiman, confirmed that governments had made concrete commitments on salary adjustments, promotions, allowances, and the long-standing meal subsidy disputes involving the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. He added that a standing directive had also been issued to end recurring delays in the payments of house officers' salaries.
I can tell you our matters are solved. Solved in the sense that timelines have been agreed upon by various agencies of government. On salary and promotion areas, we're talking about a week. On the call mill issue in Luth, we're talking about a week so that we'll get implementation. We have agreed on a figure, we have agreed on numbers.
The resident doctors say the planned industrial action will be formally suspended after the National Executive Council ratifies the agreements reached with the federal government, a development expected to guarantee uninterrupted healthcare services across the country. Anietie Patrick, Global TV News.
Representatives has intensified its investigation into the alleged operation of a fake federal government agency following a claim by a businessman that he paid over 400 million naira for contracts that never materialized. Lawmakers have also summoned the co-marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps over the issuance of official government number plates allegedly used by the organization. National Assembly correspondent Anietie Patrick reports.
The managing director of Divine Daposi Nigeria Limited, Benga Collins, told the House ad hoc committee investigating the alleged Presidential Foreign Investments Promotion Council that he was convinced the agency was genuine after being received in Abuja with an official vehicle, government security personnel, and what appeared to be a functioning office at the Federal Secretariat. Collins testified that the alleged Director General of the Council, Prince Adeyemi, offered his company a contract to renovate and furnish an official residence and later requested 400 million naira as a condition for contract mobilization. He said the money was paid in 5 installments between May and July 2025 into accounts linked to 2 companies with assurances that mobilization would begin in August. However, the contract never took off.
He said he wants to award that contract. He's giving the contract out. But there are a lot of people on that contract. They have a lot of people on that contract that I should try to, whatever I want to do, I should try to fast track it.
During the hearing, lawmakers questioned why due procurement procedures were not followed before the transaction. Collins admitted that no formal procurement process was undertaken. Concerned by testimony that vehicles linked to the alleged agency carried official federal government's number plates, the committee summoned the co-marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps to explain how such registration plates were issued. Committee Chairman Yusuf Gadi also disclosed that the alleged PFIPC Director General, currently in police custody under a court order, would be questioned at an undisclosed location to avoid interfering with ongoing investigation by the EFCC, ICPC, and other security agencies.
General DG, and he sent to impress you, he sent official vehicles with the agency, purported agency's plate number, and invited you to Abuja. and you came to Abuja, past a night, he took you to go and see the property in Coston and ask you to pay money to show your capacity.
The committee says its investigation will continue this week as it seeks to uncover the circumstances surrounding the alleged establishment and operations of the purported government agency. From the National Assembly, Anietie Patrick, Global TV News.
The federal government is set to accelerate efforts to modernize Nigeria's foreign policy with the adoption of artificial intelligence, cyber diplomacy, and digital statecraft as key tools for advancing the country's interest in an increasingly technology-driven world. This formed the focus on the second seminar, Anticipatory Cyber and Digital Diplomacy, organized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja. Ramsey Enokagbo tells us more.
Speaking at the opening ceremony, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Anikonolaye, described the seminar as a strategic platform for equipping Nigerians' foreign policy with the tools required to respond to the rapidly evolving international landscape. He noted that the technological innovation is redefining diplomacy and stressed that the need for Nigeria to embrace digital transformation is necessary in protecting and promoting its national interests.
The contemporary international system is undergoing profound changes and transformation, such that the boundaries between traditional diplomacy, economics, security, science, and technology are becoming fluid. Advances in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and digital technology are reshaping the way and manner in which we engage with other parts of the world.
The Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, said diplomacy has evolved beyond traditional negotiations and diplomatic correspondence. According to him, artificial intelligence, digital technologies, and data-driven decision-making are increasingly shaping international relations, making it imperative for Nigeria to build the capacity needed to remain competitive in the global digital era.
We all know that today diplomacy is no longer conducted only just through treaties, negotiation, and diplomatic notes. It is increasingly influenced by data, digital infrastructure, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, satellite systems, and the standards that govern those technologies as well.
Participants at the two-day seminar are expected to develop practical strategies for integrating artificial intelligence, cyber capabilities, and digital diplomacy into Nigeria's foreign policy architecture as the country seeks to strengthen its voice, influence, and strategic engagement on the global stage. Ramsey Enokagbo, Global TV News.
Let's now head to Kano State, where the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted 3 tanker trucks loaded with suspected illegally diverted fuel in the Kano Jigawa Area Command. The operation, carried out under the Customs Special Anti-Smuggling Initiative, Operation Whirlwind, is aimed at tackling the illegal movement of petroleum products and protecting the nation's economy. Global TV's Idris Jibrin tells us more.
The fight against illegal diversion of petroleum products has continued to gather momentum as operatives of Operation Whirlwind intercepted 3 trucks carrying suspected diverted petroleum products. The seizure followed intelligence gathering and coordinated surveillance by officers of the Nigeria Customs Service. The trucks, loaded with liquefied petroleum gas, premium motor spirits, and other regulated petroleum products, were presented to journalists at the Kano Jigawa Area Command Headquarters.
I want to assure you that the Kano Jigawa Area Command will continue to work with the Operation Whirlwind to always give them support whenever it is needed.
According to the National Coordinator of Operation Whirlwind, Deputy Controller of Customs Abubakar Aliyu, Preliminary investigations revealed that the products were originally destined for Kebbi State, but suspicious irregularity in their movement prompted custom operatives to intercept the product. He said the operation forms part of service's renewed determination to combat economic sabotage, safeguard government revenue, and ensure petroleum products reach their approved destinations.
The Nigeria Customs Service is formally handing over to the Nigerian Mainstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Kano branch, 3 tankers truck bearing registration number FGE 570 XB, KMG 361 XA, and KMC 69ZR respectively, conveying suspected diverted liquefied petroleum gas and PMS product.
The intercepted trucks have been handed over to the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority for further investigation and possible prosecution of those found to have violated the law. Officials of the regulatory authority commended the Customs Service for the successful operation, describing interagency collaboration as critical to tackling the illegal diversion of petroleum product across the country.
Without the collaboration, this cannot be achieved. So we want to commend you for that. We want to assure you that we are ready to work with you.
The Nigeria Customs Service reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening intelligence gathering, surveillance, and collaboration with relevant agencies to dismantle smuggling networks and protect Nigeria's petroleum supply chain. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Watching the live broadcast of News Prime. News Prime continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and glad to have you with us on the weather forecast. The atmosphere across the north and north-central region have been quite busy this past 24 hours. And going into Thursday, there's still prospects for morning thunderstorms in parts of Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, parts of Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, Taraba, as well as parts of Niger, the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa and Plateau states. To residents in the south-south region, there are prospects of morning rains expected. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, these thunderstorms are expected to intensify in the north and the north-central region, with light to moderate rains in parts of the south-south, southeast, as well as Ondo and Ekiti states. Whatever plans you have for Thursday, keep your umbrellas close. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
Back from that break, and now to business news. Nigeria is set for a major digital infrastructure boost as the federal government is commencing the deployment of a 90,000 kilometers fiber optic network within weeks to expand broadband access, drive economic growth, and bridge the nation's digital divide. Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, announced the development after briefing President Bola Tinubu at the State House, Abuja, on the progress of key digital transformation projects. Sadia Yakubu tells us more.
Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, described the nationwide fiber optic rollout as one of the most ambitious digital infrastructure initiatives in Nigeria's history, revealing that all procurement processes have been concluded and contractors are ready to move to site. The network, he said, will extend high-speed broadband to every state, geopolitical zone, local government area and ward across the country. The minister attributed the sector's rapid growth to the Tinubu administration's reforms, including the designation of telecommunications infrastructure as critical national infrastructure, tariff adjustment and tax harmonization. He disclosed that the communications sector's contribution in Nigeria's gross domestic product has increased from between 16 and 18% to almost 21%.
Update him on 3 critical projects that we believe His Excellency gave us the mandate to implement. One is the 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic network across this country. We've done a lot of work putting the resources together, raising that money, contractual agreements. We're now at a point where in a few weeks' time, we should start to lay those fiber so people will start seeing us around the country deploying the fiber. This is going to transform Nigeria for good.
On expanding digital inclusion, Dr. Tijani announced that the deployment of about 3,700 telecommunications towers will begin in October to provide network coverage for more than 20 million Nigerians living in underserved and unserved communities. He also unveiled plans for the launch of Nigeria's new alphanumeric postcode system on October 1st. The initiative will assign a unique digital address to every property nationwide to improve e-commerce, enhance emergency response, strengthen security, speed up deliveries, and support efficient public service delivery.
Bringing over 20 million Nigerians who live in rural areas who don't have access to any form of telecommunications at all. Mr. President also sanctioned that project. Today we're in a place where before the end of the year we'll also start to deploy close to 3,700 towers. It's taken a lot putting this project together, raising the capital for it and all that. But we're at a point where we should now start deploying around October. This is what we're targeting.
The federal government says the fiber optic network rural connectivity program and digital addressing system will accelerate Nigeria's digital transformation, expand broadband penetration, and position the country as a leading digital economy in Africa. Sadia Yakubu, Global TV News.
Business, but this time in the oil sector, where global prices have declined sharply after optimism grew over the negotiations between the United States and Iran aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route for international energy supplies. Brent crude dropped by almost 5% to below $80 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate also recorded significant losses after American officials expressed confidence that an agreement could be reached within days. The Strait of Hormuz handles about 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas shipment, with the recent disruption contributing to higher fuel prices and increased uncertainty in international energy markets. On the foreign scene, the World Health Organization has announced the first confirmed recovery from the outbreak of Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, describing it as an encouraging milestone in the response to the deadly disease. The agency says the recovery demonstrates that timely diagnosis and quality medical care can improve survival rate, even as hundreds of suspected cases remain under investigation. The reports. The World Health Organization says the recovered patient is the first confirmed Ebola case in the current outbreak to be discharged after testing negative twice for the virus. Health officials say as of May 28, the outbreak had recorded 125 confirmed cases, including 17 deaths across 13 health zones in Ituri, North Kivu, and South Kivu provinces, while investigations continue into hundreds of suspected infections.
What's important about this patient is that he's the first one who was admitted to a care center, who was discharged following 2 negative tests. I would say, unfortunately, of the person for which the lab results have not been received yet.
The WHO says the recovery offers renewed hope for affected communities and highlights the importance of expanding access to early diagnosis, treatment, and intensive medical care. Officials also note that the previous outbreak caused by the Budingbo strain of Ebola recorded fatality rate of between 30 and 50%, underscoring the need for sustained surveillance and rapid intervention.
Among people who were confirmed for the infection, ranges between 30 to 50%. It's huge. It means like up to 5 out of 10 people are likely to die.
The World Health Organization says it is working with Congolese health authorities and international partners to strengthen case detection, laboratory testing, and community engagement as efforts continue to contain the outbreak and prevent further spread of the virus. Mukhtar Kasim, Global TV News. And now to the world of sport, where Federation of International Football Association FIFA President Gianni Infantino has held emergency talks with senior officials in Morocco following growing criticism over his abandoned proposal to open the World Cup to private investment. The meeting comes amid mounting pressure from within world football, including reports of international opposition and renewed calls for Infantino to step down after he withdrew the controversial plan in the face of widespread resistance. Despite the setback, FIFA president continues to enjoy public backing from Moroccan football authorities ahead of next year's FIFA Congress, where he is seeking to get another term in office. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. We brought to you that no fewer than 176 residents abducted during the February terrorist attacks on Wuro and Nuku communities in Kaima local government area of Kwara State have regained their freedom, ending nearly 6 months in captivity. In business, global oil prices have declined sharply after optimism grew over the negotiations between the United States and Iran aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping route for international energy supplies. On the foreign scene, we brought to you that the World Health Organization has announced the first confirmed recovery from the current Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, describing it as an encouraging milestone in the response to the deadly disease. In sport, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has held emergency talks with senior officials in Morocco following growing criticism over his abandoned proposal to open World Cup to private investment. And that's it on News Prime. Here's a quick reminder. Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, StarTimes, channel 276. You can also watch us on Free TV. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms now displaying on your screen by using Global TV NJ. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.